Another big day today for the teams as they battled out the last full day of dunes in Mauritania. Part of the route today had never been used before, a mixture of dune crossings and fast tracks between the dunes that were very difficult to navigate. Tiredness is really setting in for the remaining teams, but they still have to hang in for another 471 kilometres of time stage between Ain Attaya and Akjout. The bikes came in 2 hours later than expected today. A hellish day for all. This stage last year was difficult enough, so why should this have been any different? 43 two-wheelers were at the start this morning and Philippe Carillon, first Malmoto, took 7th place in this stage. Yes, I'm very happy. I rode well. I got a bit lost in the second half. The first half went very well. The second half was more difficult to navigate. I lost it a bit. I lost concentration with it being the last big day. And I got lost. I lost a bit of time, but here I am. I'm happy, that's the main thing. I rode well, not too many falls. The bike is working well, beautiful terrain, lots of soft sand, physically not too hard. It was fun. Amongst the top riders, Simone Agazzi did well today. He left third and finished fourth. All went well, he rode all day with the race leaders and he headed back to camp with a solid third place in the GC. A long way, however, behind Paul Anders Olavalseter, the Norwegian has never quite managed to make up the 7 minutes he lost on the first stage. It was a very difficult day. He got lost 3 or 4 times trying to find the right track and took over 2 hours to ride the first 100 kilometres. However, that's not the point. He's happy to be finishing second following last year's abandonment. In his first AfricaEcoRace, this rider is looking at his first win. Alessandro Botturi once more took back the 2 minutes from Olavalseter today. The closer we get to Lac Rose, the more he is starting to think about the win.
Sì, fino a domani la corsa non è finita.
Be careful, because until tomorrow the race isn't over. We still have a time stage of over 200 kilometres. And until then we have to do our best. We have to ride carefully without any mistakes. Paul went really fast in Mauritania, and I had to work to keep to his rhythm. The man of the hour today is from Guatemala. Francisco Arredondo could not hide his delight. He is also here for the first time, and for this former Dakar rider who prefers to ride in Africa, this win means a huge amount.
I'm so happy, you know, I'm so happy. I worked hard the whole 2 weeks and finally they made a mistake and I was just happy to ride with them, and you know, they made a big mistake. When I found them in the desert, I was quite surprised, but I'm so happy and I feel so good to win, so I'm really happy. Well, now is the best race in the world to me. After winning a stage, I feel great, and what a good way to finish, because I had in the morning I was completely down, and then I pushed and I got a bit lucky at the end, and you know, and I'm just so happy to be at the end here, and I love the Africa race. It's good to be back in Africa and on our way to Dakar.
Results for today are as follows. Francisco Arredondo of Guatemala takes his first stage win in his first AfricaEcoRace. Olavalseter and Botturi are still within minutes of each other in second and third. Felix Jensen is fifth. In the GC, barring a disaster, Botturi will win this year's AfricaEcoRace. Simone Agazzi looks set to stay third, and Francisco Arredondo makes it into the top 5 in fifth. We've said it before, but the AfricaEcoRace is all about friendship. Friends come here for adventure and to push their limits. Amongst them, a Frenchman who turned 59 this week and who had an almighty crash here 2 years ago. This year is a real treat because, with what happened to me 2 years ago, it's like a return to form. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. The Motard du Désert is two friends. We've been riding together for several years. This must be Christophe's 7th, my 8th. We created this team together. This year it's just us and Jérôme, our amazing mechanic. But in the past, we've had about 4 or 5 riders. Next year, I think there will be more again. AfricaEcoRace is the Dakar of old. That's what I like. I like rally raids. I like motorbikes, anything mechanical, even cars. This race is for me just magical because the camps are in the middle of nowhere. With the start and the mythical arrival at Lac Rose, we'll be there soon. Not yet. There are 2 more stages. It's a great race. I like being in the middle of nowhere. We all get together, we put the tents up. There's a great camaraderie between the riders. I like it when we leave from and finish in camp. It's really fun. It allows us a lot of time to recuperate without doing useless miles on the road. I think it's a great race. The important thing here is being out on the course in the AfricaEcoRace. What pushes me is friends and feeling young. What pushes me is the desert. I love riding my bike in the desert. We have to be realistic. Yes, I loved winning years ago, it's true. I could have won it a few times. Now I'm just coming back. I haven't ridden in a rally for nearly 3 years now. So if I get to the end, that will be enough. I've had some shockers. I have to be realistic. What I would like is to get the bike to the end and celebrate with my friends, Jérôme and Christophe. It's always such a joy to get to Lac Rose and Dakar. And after that, we take it easy. It takes us about a month to recover properly. A huge bravo to Thomas Tomacek on this very difficult stage. Alone in his Tatra, he came in not only first in the truck category, but 5th overall. All being well, Jean-Pierre Strugo should win this race tomorrow. Given how experienced he is, he was not expecting to feel the pressure today, but he really did think at one point that he had lost his place as leader. During the time stage, there were some sketchy moments. We were lost, and I thought we would lose, if not the rally, then at least first place. But in fact, we weren't really lost at all. We were about 3 or 4 kilometres from the waypoint, but we didn't know if we were 3 kilometres away. It could have been 10. We climbed to the top of a hill to see if we could at least see some dust or tracks, but nothing. Strugo came in 3rd just behind David Gerard, who had a few mechanical problems. He still finished 2nd, but more excitingly, he steps up to 2nd place in the GC, thanks to Patrick Martin, who lost an enormous amount of time today. And for the 2nd time this year, Yves Froment won the stage, finishing today in a time of 6 hours, 45 minutes and 23 seconds. A fantastic day, especially as on top of the win, he moves up to 3rd place in the GC. Difficult, but we crossed the dunes really well. That saved us because after that we made some navigation errors and lost some time. On the other hand, in the dune crossing where everyone was stopped, we shot through. Not easily, but we did really well. We avoided all the cars that were stuck. There were Optimus buggies left and right. It was complicated. In the car category today, the results are as follows. A win for Froment ahead of Gerard and Strugo. The Julians were fourth. 3 trucks followed those of Tomacek, Essers and Levitsky. In the GC, Jean-Pierre Strugo should go on to win his first Africa Eco Race and Elisabeth Jacinto the truck category, despite her hitting a huge lump of camel grass and damaging the man. What if we told you that the Africa Eco Race had its very own driving school? Would you believe us? Well, it does, kind of. Every year about 10 vehicles take part in the raid, sometimes before taking on the real thing. I'm a former member of the organisation in the Africa Eco Race, and I think this is a great school to learn the ropes. I say it to everyone, come and do the raid on the Africa Eco Race. It will allow you to discover the country, and you can learn a bit about the competition, and then you can take part either on a bike or in a car. It's a great entry-level experience to come and do the course without any of the constraints of the race. Tomorrow is our last day in Mauritania, and the sand we all love so much will be finished. The second part of the day is very rolling, with an arrival in Fimlet after 218 kilometres of timed stage. That's us for today. As ever, we leave you with some of the day's best images. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.